When it comes to combat, we really want to push this idea that he is this master of improvisation. He's not, 15 years old. He's not just getting used to his powers. We definitely wanted to play up the fact that he has the ability to juggle between webs, melee, environment interaction, and gadgets, and switch between them pretty quickly to give you a lot of player choice within each setup. The very basics of combat starts with melee, right? You have your square button and keep hitting it in a nice rhythm and you're gonna do some really cool attacks. But that's kind of the start. You use that to kind of begin the rest of your abilities, whether it's holding it down and launching a guy up in the air and then pressing it down again to jump up with him and continue attacking, then pressing triangle to web strike down, holding web strike to grab guys and throw them. It kind of starts with the basics of melee. We really want to get you off the ground and using your acrobatics, using your gadgets, and using your webs to feel more like Spider-Man. We really want to play to Spider-Man's strengths. We just didn't want it to be a brawler, right? He's so much more acrobatic and he really has that sense of fluidity and flow in combat. But it's not just on the ground, it's constantly going back up and down, left and right, and using the environment to really deliver that idea of improvisation, and you're kind of in control of that improvisation. So I think of all the little things that you can experiment with. One of my favorite things to do is to punch a guy up in the air and then just slam him down, right, with my webs. But I was experimenting the other day with, hey, what if I punch him in the air and then I start webbing him up? And then I pull him down, and I noticed that the combat team had added the ability to, if he has a bunch of webs on him and then I slam him down, he's now stuck to the ground. It's those little things that you discover as you're playing the game. And since it's less combo based, it's more move and ability based, you can really start to experiment on. Or for example, you'll be punching a guy near a scaffolding and then you do the web shooters and now he'll stick to the scaffolding and then another guy comes by and you can pull the scaffolding on the rest of them. So it's just kind of that experimentation. It lets you start to really try out a lot of different things because there's a lot of different enemies coming at you. They're coming from all different angles, all different weapons, and using that to your advantage. I think it felt more sandboxy than I ever thought it actually would be. There are going to be moments where you definitely want to go in, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be hectic, but there are going to be opportunities, depending on how you want to play the game, where you actually can slow things down a bit, be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more cerebral, and actually take guys out without even alerting others. So you can kind of thin the herd before you go into it and strike. You have that flexibility within the game. We said this is more experienced Spider-Man he's been doing for 8 years, so we want you to feel like a hero right away, but we want you to feel like a greater hero over time. So we're gonna have a pretty deep progression system where you can unlock new moves and abilities over time, but also craft new gear, new suits and suit mods, and even you'll be improving the abilities of your gadgets over time. So when I thought about why Insomniac would be such a good fit for Spider-Man, one of the reasons why was our experience with making gadgets. And what's great is that you can access them in-game via a gadget wheel, just like you would see in a Ratchet game or Sunset Overdrive or even the original Resistance. We have the tripwire. I like it because it's so multifaceted, so you can use it. You can be perched above a bunch of enemies and they could be on patrol and you can stick it to an environment and they'll be walking by a wall and they'll get slammed into the wall, which is really cool. But at the same time, if you say you are in the middle of a fight and you place on an enemy and another enemy walks by, they slam together. So it's just a great multifaceted gadget. We have the web bomb, which is great for crowd control. It's just fun to be in the middle of 5 or 6 guys, throw it out, kind of rises in the air, and then just webs go everywhere. Now you can melee the guys, put them up in the air. What I like to do is send out a line, grab one, start twirling them around your head, and then toss them into the others. One of my favorites is the spider drone, the little guy that hovers above and shoots these rapid fire webs at enemies. You can either use to distract enemies or set you up for attacks. It has the personality of both Peter and Insomniac. So in some of our city activities, we'll have the main objective, okay, you gotta stop this storefront robbery, or you gotta stop this drug deal happening. But some of these objectives will actually have sub-objectives like complete 5 finishers or take 3 guys out with your tripwire, those kind of things. So they're actually a lot of replayability, but at the same time, you get extra stuff that you can use for customization. So it's kind of yeah, you completed the Fisk base, but did you complete all sub-objectives? Because that'll give you actually more currency to bring back and use into customization and progression. So it's really important for us that we want players to be the Spider-Man they want to be, so they can unlock the skills and the abilities that they want to. But at the same time, we talked about the gear and the gadgets and the suits and all the activities in the city that you complete will all contribute to things you need to craft those items. So we really want to make sure that not only you feel like a great superhero, but you're the superhero that you want to be.